The Smith family, consisting of Father John, Mother Mary, and their two children James and Lily, had long dreamed of owning their own home. After many years of moving between rental apartments, they finally managed to save up for a house. The house was old, but it looked well kept and spacious, perfect for the family. The first evening in their new home went peacefully. Exhausted from the move, the Smiths went to bed, looking forward to a new day in their new house. The next day, while unpacking boxes, Lily stumbled upon an old door to the basement. The door was locked with a massive rusty padlock. The girl ran to tell her parents about the find. John decided that the basement could be used for storing things and tools, so in the evening, armed with a crowbar, he broke the lock. The creaky door opened with a loud groan, revealing a narrow staircase leading into darkness. A musty, damp smell wafted up from the basement, making Mary shiver nervously. The basement turned out to be spacious but grim and dusty. The walls were covered in cobwebs, and old, dilapidated shelves stood in the corners. In the center of the room stood a massive wooden chest, adorned with a strange symbol. James and Lily, filled with curiosity, approached it. Their father, lifting the lid of the chest, found old books, strange artifacts, and yellowed photographs of unfamiliar people inside. Mary, feeling an inexplicable unease, suggested they leave the basement and lock it up for the time being. The next day, returning home from work, John noticed that the basement door was ajar. He distinctly remembered closing it. Thinking that the children might have sneaked in out of curiosity, he went to check. But descending the stairs, he found no one there, just thick darkness and silence, interrupted only by dripping water. That night, when everyone went to bed, strange things began happening in the house. Lily woke up to a noise. It seemed to her that someone was walking around the house. She heard quiet whispers, as if coming from another room. A terrifying fear gripped her when she saw a shadow flit past her bedroom door. The next day, the family decided to spend more time together and forget about the strange events of the previous night. They didn't know that the house they had moved into held a gruesome secret. Their neighbor, an elderly woman named Martha, came over with a pie and started telling them the history of the house. She revealed that many years ago, a family lived there who disappeared without a trace. People said the house was cursed, and since then, no one dared to live in it for long. That night, events took a sinister turn. James heard the strange noises again and decided to find their source. Under the cover of night, he quietly crept to the basement. The door was ajar again, and an icy chill wafted from within. Gathering his courage, he descended the stairs. When he reached the chest, the lid was slightly open. Inside, he saw an old book that hadn't been there before. It was bound in black leather and adorned with symbols that gave him goosebumps. James opened the book and saw pages covered in incomprehensible, threatening symbols. He felt a chill creeping over his body, and then a dull thud sounded. James turned around and saw shadows moving along the walls as if alive. A powerful fear made him drop the book and bolt from the basement. He raced up the stairs and slammed the door shut, but the noises didn't stop. A muffled whispering was heard behind the door, as if someone was calling his name. John and Mary, hearing their son's screams, rushed into his room and saw him, trembling, holding the basement door shut. He told them about his discovery and the eerie shadows. John decided that they needed to get rid of the book and all the items from the chest. They gathered all the artifacts and photographs and took them out of the house. John decided to burn everything in the backyard. The fire grew slowly, and the smoke rose in thick, ominous clouds. At the moment the last artifact turned to ash, silence fell over the house. However, the calm didn't last long. That night, the family was awakened by a loud crash. The basement door was open again, and loud footsteps and sinister laughter echoed from within. The Smiths realized that the curse hadn't gone. It was tied to the house and its past. The next day, they decided to leave the house. Gathering only the most essential items, they left everything else behind. As they looked back at the house one last time, they saw shadows moving in the windows, watching them. The curse remained with the house, possibly waiting for new tenants who would again open the ominous basement and unleash the ancient evil.